Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to go through what kind of videos and content I'm planning on making when AFL Evolution 2 eventually comes out, or if it comes out at all. Now, one thing to remember before we get into it is that these are all dependent on what Evolution 2 is actually capable of. At this point in time, we don't really know anything they've added to the game, or any new features or game modes or additions to any of the previous modes like career mode or whatever. So these are the ideas that I've come up with so far. And once we find out what the game's actually capable of, then we'll, see if we need to make any changes or adjustments. Another reason why I'm doing this video is to get your thoughts and opinions on these ideas I've had, as well as to get your ideas that you may have or content that you may want to see me do in Evolution 2. So the very first video I plan on making with Evolution 2 is just a general kind of first impressions, first game kind of thing. I have a long-standing tradition with pretty much every AFL game I've played, that the first match I play in those games is always between Freo and West Coast. So that's what I'm going to do day one. I'm going to play out a game between Freo and West Coast, record that footage, and then in the video I'll put a voiceover just giving you my general thoughts and first impressions of the game from my very first match. So if you've been watching my videos on the channel recently, you would have seen this new series I've started up called We Are the Freo Dockers. Now, for those of you who don't know, it's basically just a coach career mode where I play as Freo through their 2018 season, and I basically kind of recap the games, and it's kind of put together in a sort of cinematic or dramatic style. Now, my plans for this have always been to continue this series into a second season in AFL Evolution 2, which would follow Freo in season 2020. My question for you guys is, would you like to see this series continue with the Freo Dockers, or would you prefer to see this series continue into a second season with a different team? Or we could have both. We could have, continue the series with the Freo Dockers as well as doing one with a new team. Now, bear in mind that's also dependent on how many other videos and other kind of series we're doing at the time. Another series I'm planning on doing with Evolution 2 is a series called Adam Walker. This one will be a player career mode, or a be a pro mode, I guess, whatever they call it now, where we kind of play as one player and follow his career. It will be cinematic and story driven, similar to the Freo Dockers series, but with a greater focus on one character and his backstory. This series will tell the story of promising young WA footballer Adam Walker as he chases his dream of making it to the AFL. We'll follow his story from his early years at East Fremantle as he tries to live up to the legacy left by his father, club legend Eric Walker, all the way to Adam entering into the AFL draft and beyond. Now, the fourth thing I want to talk about is AFL What If. Again, for those of you who have been around the channel for the last few months or so, I think it was, I've been making this series called AFL What If, where we took a bunch of what if scenarios and took a look at what they would look like if they actually happened. So, the Melbourne Hawthorn merger, we've got what if University still was in the league, all these kind of different things like that. Now, my initial plans for this series, one thing I've always kind of wanted to do with this series is to take those teams we've created and bring them to life in AFL Evolution, at least for one game or something like that. The problem with this is that, obviously with AFL Evolution 1, the team creator in that game is very basic and bare bones, and it's very limited in terms of what we can do with it, especially when it comes to custom team logos and, team Guernseys and stuff like that. So it makes it very difficult to kind of bring those teams we make in the What If series to life in the game. So my hope at this point is that Evolution 2 will have a much more in-depth and creator-friendly custom team creation mode. That way we can kind of take the custom logos and the custom Guernseys that I've made in the What If series and bring those teams to life in the game. And so, kind of like I said at the start of the video, this one in particular is dependent on what the game is capable of. If Evolution 2 has a team creator that's basically the same, or not much better than the one in Evolution 1, then this probably isn't going to be something we're going to be able to do. So worst case scenario, if the Evolution 2 team creator isn't any better or isn't much better than the one in Evolution 1, the What If series will still continue, I think. But in that case, I'm going to be looking for a way to just make that series a bit more interesting. I think, add another layer to it. Obviously with Evolution 2, if we can bring the teams to life in the game, that's, that extra level. But if we can't do that, then, how else are we going to make the What If series just a bit more interesting? If you guys have thoughts on that, please let me know down in the comments, because I'd love to, hear your ideas and ways you think we could make that series more interesting if we can't do what we're planning to do in Evolution 2. Okay guys, so that's about it for this video. Remember to let me know in the comments down below what you think of these ideas, which ones do you like, what other kind of ideas do you have, what would you like to see me do with Evolution 2, when and if it ever comes out. If it does, hopefully sooner rather than later, who knows. But when it comes out, if it comes out, we're gonna have some fun with it. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.